2x. Just go into settings, speed up to 2x. Because sometimes I go long with videos. This video is not going to be too long, I hope. Let me start off with a piece of scripture with you guys. Every day, my very first video, I'll start off with a piece of scripture with you guys, and I'm going to roll it from there, right? Hit y'all with something that is really cool. A fool says in his heart that there is no God. Let me say it again. A fool says in his heart there is no God. Alright? What did I mean? I like to replace God with the word good. Good is just an extra O put into God, right? And let's try it again. A fool says in his heart, there is no good. We could debate morality right now, but basically, I believe that there are people who are sort of narcissists in society and life that believe there's no good, there's no evil, there's only what benefits them. I've always seen them as fools. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care how successful they are in life. I don't care how much they have systems put in place. People who are narcissistic like that, only looking to benefit themselves and themselves only, are the reason why the world is how it is today. With great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man. Shout out to Spider-Man. But the point is that we all in life serve someone or something. We all do. We all have a part of service to give out. Like right now, this video that I'm doing with you guys is a service to you. You came to me because you want to be served. And I'm dishing out what I'm serving, right? So, no matter what, we have been put on this planet to serve or help one another. Not just to serve ourselves. And just to add to that point, and then I'll move on. And remember, again, you can speed up this video to 2x. You guys want to donate to my channel, because I know there's some subscribers. Western Union, MoneyGram. If you don't have enough money to donate to those things right now, save it up for the next month, and But there was a story about this man. He was young, and he was very successful. And he increased in lands and properties and crops. And what he said to himself was, self, I'm going to store up all these things, put them in their respective places. I'm going to eat, drink, and be merry and serve myself and be a happy old guy. Now, everybody out here, all of you guys out here, listening to this story, you're going to say, well, that's a good story, man. That's the life I want to live. I want to live it up. I want to get enough money, get enough wealth so I can be okay with myself and be comfortable, right? And God came to him and said, thou fool, this night your life is required. And he died. Why? Because you're only living for yourself. The fool says in his heart, there is no good. There is no God. I do not serve nobody but myself. Me. The lesson for today is simple. You do something today to help out somebody else, and don't think about yourself in the process. Think about the person and do something good for them. And don't care about no kickback. If they treat you horrible, whatever, you're not looking for payback. And you won't be a fool. They say you're foolish when you serve people and you help them out, and you get in return no gratitude, no thanks. You just get beat up. They say you foolish. The world's got it wrong. You're wise. The fool is the person always looking to cover their back, self-preservation, only think about themselves and themselves alone. Their life will be required of them. I'm going to catch y'all. Into the boxing we go. Into the boxing we go. Deontay Wilder. He ready. He ready for this fight. He's ready. I can tell you that now. Malik Scott. Shout out to Malik Scott. Malik Scott got him ready. He ready. He ready. I was looking at an interview with Malik Scott and he shouted out Barry Robinson, aka once upon a time Million Styles Boxers. Now his channel is known as Be Great at Boxing. Shout out to Barry Robinson, boxing scientist. Malik Scott is a similar minded sort of individual. And the way Malik broke it down, I realized Wilder got all the stuff that Wilder got in his game. He ready. He ready for this fight. And I'm very happy about that. Now, he got to be on point, as Malik Scott said. He's got to be on point in this fight. Because guess what? Tyson Fury is going to be on point. Okay? And I love what Malik Scott said. He said, you know, they were asking him some stupid question. You know, some of these reporters ask some dumb ass questions. Some of the questions are really dumb. And a dumb question he asked was, you know, you think that, you know, Wilder would be able to get rid of Usyk, you know, and so on. And I was like, what? You know, they would it be easy for Wilder facing Usyk? Would it be easy for Wilder against us? And Malik Scott stopped in my game. I said, stop right there. There are two things I really do not like the reporters who ask questions about. The first thing reporters like to do is overlook the fighter that's in front of the person, right? The trainer, the coach, the whoever. They overlook that fighter. And they start asking all kinds of fucking hypothetical questions. Sorry about the F-bomb. All kinds of hypothetical questions about guys in the future that this guy's not facing. Stick to the subject at hand. The guy that's in front of the guy should be the only topic you guys are talking about when you're talking to a fighter. When he's finished fighting the guy that's in front of him, you can ask him any question about anybody else. The other dumb question I hear these reporters ask time and time again is, what kind of fighter do you think this fighter is? Especially the fighters who haven't yet faced the fighter. Why do you ask such stupid questions? How is he supposed to know what the fighter is until he faces the fighter? Only until you face the fighter. I don't care how much predictions you guys want to give. Until you face the fighter, you cannot tell people how it is with the fighter. So stop asking these stupid questions. Another really dumb question they ask is, well, what does this power feel like? What? Just stop asking these dumb questions. So please, reporters, ask better questions. Better questions. Okay? But having said that, you know, my dude here in the chat section, KP from KC, he says, Wilder is ready. Yep, he's absolutely ready. I can tell you that. KP from KC5 says, do you follow Coach Barry Robinson too? Because I do. And I've seen the adjustments they've made. Yes, sir, I do. But what I'm going to say is that what Malik Scott said is Tyson Fury's no easy task. He's a challenge. But I did my due diligence. I did my due homework. We know what we need to do to beat him. Right? Makes sense. And, you know, another thing that Malik Scott said, which is so true. Some people do pad work to look pretty, right? We see celebrities doing all that Mayweather pad work stuff with Roger Mayweather, not knowing what the hell that pad work represents. Because a lot of people, they do the pad work to go through the motions, but they don't understand the intent and what the pad work's about. Okay? Or guys shadow box just to look good, but they're really just going through the motions, right? Shadow boxing and boxing in general is all about incoming and you throwing your outgoing. So in boxing, when you shadow boxing, you're not shadow boxing to look pretty. You're not going on the punching bag to look pretty. That punching bag, if that punching bag swings back in you, what does that mean? The opponent's body is coming towards you. When you're doing the mitt work is about what? It's about punching and counter punching, right? Sometimes, the mitt work guy, he will throw a hook, or he throw a lead right, or you throw a jab, right? And you're supposed to slip the jab or roll under the hook, roll in under the hook, or roll out under the hook, right? And we saw Malik Scott doing the roll in, roll out, slip the jab, roll in, roll out. Again, I told you guys, go to my community section. In there, you will see Roger Mayweather teaching you about boxing in a very nice, simple, comprehensive video. And if you do just some of the things that he's telling you to do in there, whether you do them properly or not, if you do some of the things he's telling you to do in there, you would know boxing so much better than a lot of people. Because a lot of people, I'm going to say this one more time, for all those people out there, Malik Scott be my witness, you need to, first of all, in boxing, have a good base. Let me say that again, a good base, which means a good stance and good balance. And before you throw a single punch, before you throw one punch, you've got to have defense. And what do they teach you? Protect that shit. And from there, you're going to throw a punch. But what do they tell you? If you throw it, get that hand back. So you throw the punch, and you get the hand back to protect the chin. Right? Fundamentals of boxing is defense. Protect yourself at all times. Now, I've said enough, but I do know Deontay Wilder is ready. Tyson Fury is ready. They're two ready fighters. And as I said to you guys before, in boxing, I don't care who it is you're fighting. If you are under the illusion that it's not war, it is war. Boxing is not a sport in that regard. In sports, people are competitive. There's war too. People are very competitive, but this is not just about competition. I am taking my physical hands, I'm taking my body, whether it's my shoulders, whether it's my hands, my feet, right? How I shift my body weight, and I'm waging war against you. And when I say I'm waging war, I'm physically being violent to you. So the mindset going into battle is not one where people are playing around. You are no longer friends. It is war. Okay? And Malik Scott clarified that again. I love the interview with Malik Scott. He dropped some gems. He dropped some knowledge. He will be a great trainer. He dropped some knowledge because it's a different mindset when you go into battle, when you take on an opponent. It's not just about being competitive with them. It is about inflicting serious bodily harm on them. That is what boxing is about. It is one of the most violent sports in all of sports. Even MMA doesn't come close to how violent boxing really is. Even though the major weapon that you use, even though you use several weapons, but your major weapon is your hands, right? It's not your feet. Kickboxing, you use your feet and your hands. And you have trained these things to kill. When you go into a boxing ring, always understand you've signed a waiver saying if anything happens to you in there, no one's responsible for you. So in the boxing ring, your intention should be to harm your opponent physically. And your opponent, his intention is to harm you physically. And if you do not understand that, then you probably should not get into boxing. Professionally, at least. All right? That's the mindset you have to have to go in there. Now, Malik Scott said he wasn't thinking like that, but me, that's how I'm going to think. I'm not thinking any other way. There's no other way I can think about it. I'm going in there to either kill the person or I will be killed. And literally, that's the way you have to think. It is the most grotesque thing in the world, but you're going in there to inflict bodily harm. You're looking for the knockout, and a knockout is like a kill. It's like you killed the person because they cease to be, and they cease to know who they are and everything else that is, and they're an inanimate object when they're knocked out. Okay, because you traumatize their nervous system and it shut everything down, except their heart still beating and they're still breathing. Okay, but as to their consciousness and everything's gone. Okay, so that is what boxing is at its core. It is a very, very bloody, very, very dangerous sport. And let us not make excuses for it. And if you have to go into battle, if you have to go in and fight, as much as you know the rules, regulations, you will know what's safe, what's not safe. Once you have good defense, it's a totally different story. But the point is, in boxing, it is about killing or being killed. It's that serious. And all the great ones, all the really, really great ones understand this. Okay? They understand what it is they're participating in. Okay? It is a very, very dangerous sport compared to other sports. Even, high-speed car racing is not as deadly as boxing is. All right? So, once you understand that, we take it very, very seriously, your training. I can tell you Deontay Wilder is taking it very, very seriously. And Tyson Fury is taking it very, very seriously. I'm looking forward to a very great fight. We may have multiple knockdowns in the fight. We may have people getting dropped in this fight. It looks like this fight is going to be one of the most, tremendous fights we'll ever see. Because I'm pretty sure neither guy is going to quit in this fight. There's no quit in either guy. Okay, Tyson Fury came back up from getting knocked down stupid. And Deontay Wilder, even though they stopped the fight, Deontay Wilder had just thrown a left hook at Tyson Fury that caught him in the face. And Tyson Fury looked at him stunned before Kenny Bayless jumped in between and before Mark Breland threw in the towel. So we all know, and I said it too, I thought the fight was called prematurely. Tyson Fury was whooping Deontay Wilder's ass. Let's not make it, but he was still game. Okay? So I do believe these two are going to put on a hell of a show come Saturday. They're going to put on a hell of a show. And I'm going to say this unreservedly. I think these two are proven the top two heavyweights of the heavyweight division. Regardless of the outcome, I think those two, they're the top two guys. And depending on how this third fight goes, somewhere down the road, we might see a fourth one. It depends. Because these two, they're putting on tremendous performances. I mean, the second one wasn't as competitive as the first one, but definitely I'm looking forward to seeing these two in action. And they're both flamboyant characters. They both can sell stuff. They're both great names. I don't think either of them is going anywhere. Win, lose, or draw. They're going to be around. So I'm looking for a hell of a performance between them, and may the best man win. Now, you know my predictions already, and you know where I'm coming from with my predictions. But nonetheless, regardless of whether Tyson Fury wins or not, I think you're gonna get your values, your money's value in entertainment. That I'm telling you, this fight it's going to be very, very, very entertaining. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these boxers will perform in the ring, and if they're ready for anything and everything. I know they're ready, so I'm looking forward to it. And just, you give me a great fight, and that's all I care about. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm sticking with my pick. I think Tyson Fury is still going to win, but if he doesn't win, it's not. It does me no harm. I love both guys. I think both guys have everything it takes to be superstars in the sport of boxing. So I'm looking forward to it. And I want to say this because a lot of people don't understand. Tyson. Right. So both guys come from backgrounds where they were not wealthy or anything like that, right? Tyson Fury is a traveler, lived his life in this kind of like a trailer kind of thing, but a fancy kind of trailer kind of thing. That's how he lived most of his life. He now lives in a house and a mansion with his wife and kids. But they used to eat outdoors. They used to just put a pot on a fire and cook. Seriously, they were gypsies, nomads. They just moved from place to place. And of late, gypsies have been treated better and better. They were not even seen as human. They were seen as the scum of the earth. Like, Jesus Christ, man. So, Fury does come from a background that's really different to anything I've ever experienced. Because I know about living in a house. I mean, I've been homeless for a while. But, these dudes just like, they nomads. Gypsies are nomads. It's weird. And they were treated as such. People would heckle them and call them all kinds of terrible names. And if you know anything about Eastern Europe, the gypsies in Eastern Europe, man, they're treated like shit. Okay. So, both of them come from very, very varied and different backgrounds, right? Wilder is not a generational boxer. Fury comes from a generation of boxers. But Wilder is the first of his family to be a boxer, I do believe. It could be that one of maybe his great ancestors were boxers as well. But Wilder is, just incredible. So, I mean, the things Wilder has done with his career are just incredible. There's no other way to describe it. I mean, this dude came into boxing very late in his life, in his 20s, won the bronze medal, and then on top of that, came out into the pros and became world champion. And now he's vying with arguably the best heavyweight of the heavyweight division. He's vying with him again. He drew with him first. He lost the second one, and now he's coming up with the third one, and might possibly get the W over the best heavyweight in the heavyweight division. Period. So we'll see. I don't know how it'll pan out, but he has more than superseded all expectations. More. And people will say, well, the heavyweight division is devoid of talent and skill. That's bullshit. Okay? We got a silver medalist in Joe Joyce. We got a gold medalist in Alexander Usyk. We got a gold medalist in terms of Anthony Joshua. We got Dillian White up in there. We got Luis Ortiz, slick Cuban boxer. We got what's the kid name? For Philadelphia kid. I can't remember his name right now. Philadelphia kid anyway. He'll come to me. We got Otto Wallen, who is again an Olympian. I mean, we got some really great heavyweights in the heavyweight division. All of them could crack. All of them could stop guys. We just saw Otto Wallen knock out Dominic Brazil. So it's not a weak division. It's just that, and Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, listen, Anthony Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko, and Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. Okay. So I mean, you can make excuses. Oh yeah, Vladimir Klitschko came off the loss to Tyson Fury, but he wasn't knocked out. Anthony Joshua knocked his ass out. Right? He lost to Tyson Fury, sure. But he wasn't knocked out. And then, think about this. When people say, well, he was long in the tooth, he was old. Okay, so let's say he beat Tyson Fury. Let's say he had beaten Anthony Joshua. Would you be still saying he was old? Would you be still saying that dumb shit? Right? No. So let's, just imagine if Floyd had gotten beaten by Canelo at 36. Oh, he was old. That's what y'all gonna use? Come on, man. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these are top guys currently in the world today. And Wilder is amongst them. And nobody's facing Luis Ortiz. Oh, he's old, he's this, he's that, but nobody's facing him. They all ducking his ass. Okay? So let's be real. Wilder faced Luis Ortiz. And Wilder faced Tyson Fury. And this is the third time he's going to be facing Tyson Fury. And it's 2 times he faced Luis Ortiz. So you got to give Deontay Wilder mad props. And don't stop saying stupid things like he can't box and blah, blah, blah. Stop saying that dumb stuff. Because he can. All right? And in the heavyweight division, the right hand rules supreme. Lennox Lewis was known for his right hand. George Foreman was known for his right hand. Muhammad Ali was known for his right hand. How many times do I have to say that? Okay? So let's stop with that. Now, will Deontay Wilder show us more variety? Will he use, his left hand to put guys down? You never know. So we'll see what he'll do in this fight. He's been boxing pretty well in sparring. I saw some of his sparring session where he stunned what's his name? The guy who's gonna be facing Kawanaki. Anyway, yeah. And the point behind it is, this dude can fight. Wilder can fight. He can box. All right, let's stop that. Now against Tyson Fury, he may not be the better of the two boxers, but again, right? There are things you can do. And so we'll see. I don't know what exactly is in his skill set. So I wouldn't try to make him do something outside of his skill set. But like I said before, there are different things. One of the things boxers should do is maybe do a little fencing. I think if you do a little bit of fencing, I think that helps you with your boxing. Because the same strategy idea in fencing is used in boxing to some degree. So that's what I would say to some of them. Anyways, man, what you need in the building. It was nice talking with you guys. Wilder is ready for to Saturday. So look forward to a cracker. When the dust fades, we will find out who's remained standing or who makes it to the finish line first. We'll see how that pans out, but it looks like it's going to be a very exciting fight. And however it swings, whichever way, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm gonna catch you guys later. What you need, out. Peace. Oh, one more thing. Deontay Wilder addressed Bob Arum. Bob Arum was making some complaint about the host of the two fighters who were engaging one another, and I really didn't understand it because she was not biased to any one fighter. I thought she was excellent. The Fox announcer lady from England is wonderful, and she's very professional. I like her. I think that we need to stop trying to be biased about things and have guys talk. Again, I don't think either guy, Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, right now they're in a mindset of folding over or for anybody. So they're gonna rip it like they're gonna rip it, right? They're gonna rip and just they're gonna go at one another. That's what they do. They're fighters. Now, people were saying they should have had the face off. Nah, they were too hot to have a face off. But what was nice about it is, once again, these fighters, that's what they come to do. They come to fight. Okay, it's a fight. So you can't expect them to be friendly with one another and be patting each other on the back. Some fighters do that. Triple G with some of the guys, they pat each other and they're kind of very cordial with one another. Not always, man. It's a war, and when guys are really in a combative spirit, it's very hard to keep them down and toned down, right? So, and the guys like Tyson Fury, he will rile up everything because, once again, he's flamboyant character. That's the way he is. Wilder's something like that too, but Wilder's more intentional. He likes to be very intentional about what he's saying and doing. He don't like to say nothing that come out of his mouth that is not intentional. So that's basically it with both of them. I think they are made for each other in that respect. I mean, after this trilogy, regardless of what happens, I hope that they can stay cordial with one another after the whole thing has gone down. And I hope they respect one another at the end of this, because I think Wilder's going to bring a couple things that Tyson Fury will, how do I put it? Whatever Tyson Fury is expecting of Wilder's going to supersede some of his expectations. And he's going to, make him respect him. I think Wilder's definitely going to make Fury respect him when all is said and done, because I think he's really well prepared for this fight this time. I'm going to catch you guys later, though. I'm what you need. Peace, people. Have a good day.